Hey, and welcome to our new podcast for all the free agents out there who are on the hunt for their next career chapter. In this great corporate restructure of 2023, there's an incredible amount of talent who have been given the gift to reassess and really consider where they want to invest that talent and for whom. So, our hope is that this platform will be just one avenue to match great talent with great opportunities. I'm your host, Tanya Pelletier, and today I am joined for our inaugural episode by Zack Yaguda. So, welcome, Zack.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
So, we said that we would spend just a couple of minutes on the landscape that we find ourselves in at this moment, and then what will be the normal format of kind of just free agent specifics. Okay.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay. So, we've talked a little bit, I think in times gone by, being impacted by a layoff carried a bit of a stigma. But I was thinking about that, this morning, and I looked up just how many layoffs so far, tech layoffs so far, in the 2.5 months of 2023. We're at 121,000 people. And that doesn't even include, the large numbers that we saw right at the end of 2022. So I just wanted to take a minute. What would you say, Zack, to that concept of a stigma still present in our current market?
I don't think there is one. You just said the numbers, right? There's 100+ thousand
Mhm.
people in the last 2.5 months alone that are now looking for their next opportunity. And this is just big tech. It's a small amount of folks that we're talking about, right? 100,000 people out there. There's no stigma. Companies, large tech companies right now are letting go of folks for whatever the reasons are, save money, et cetera. Um, and it's not performance based, and it could be role based, it could be department based. For whatever the reason is, there's a ton of talent out there coming from big tech that are currently looking for their next career opportunity. And it's okay. There should be no stigma whatsoever about it.
Yeah, I agree. But I think it's important to just call that out, right? As we kind of start this platform for
Yeah.
folks. And just, I mean, we've been talking to people, we've been talking to recruiters the last few weeks, and they would have the same answer. There are so many high impact people now in the market as free agents. It's just math, right?
Yep. Yep.
So, for so many, it was a surprise, but in some ways it's a blessing, right? It's the opportunity to do something new for somebody new. So,
Exactly. Exactly.
what advice, Zack, would you have for us, for everyone who's in this search with us?
Yeah, so this is my first time going through this. Obviously, it was a surprise to me, but business decisions are made, and here I am.
Mhm.
As I've talked to folks that are either friends and family that I'm really close with, or folks that are in my network that have gone through this before in their career, the first thing that everyone tells me, and it's hard to do, the first thing that everyone's told me is just pause and breathe, and it's going to be okay. It's a job that I had, the job that you had, and it doesn't define who you are. There's a lot of things that make up who you are. And working for me, working for my last company is not my entire identity. So it's going to be okay. You'll find something new. It'll be exciting, and you'll continue with, the rest of your life. It's going to be fine.
Good advice. Very good advice. Okay, so one other thing just on the landscape. When we were talking earlier in the week, I think you had referenced a statistic in terms of big tech versus the rest of the market. Could you share that with us size wise? And
Yeah, so I read an article around the big tech layoffs that were happening about a week or two ago, and it said, 20% of the tech industry is big tech. The large companies that everybody
yeah,
knows. And while a lot of those companies are being impacted with layoffs right now, 80% of the tech industry is those small and medium companies. And maybe they have a couple of folks that they're laying off, but in general, they're growing, right?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
for someone like me who's coming from big tech and in the situation I'm in right now, there's a lot of opportunity out there. The vast majority of people that are in the tech industry, they don't work for big tech. And those companies are doing fine. And, we'll continue to look for those roles that are available and continue to grow.
such a good, uh, such a good frame of mind to be reminded of that. And we talked a little bit about, it's kind of a win-win, right? I mean, we've developed skill sets being in the larger companies that we can bring to those companies. But also it's a learning opportunity for us as well. If we happen to, make a transition and do a different, go to a different kind of company, it'll be great for us too.
Yep, totally
Yeah.
agree.
All right. So thanks for spending a few minutes on the landscape with me. It was kind of a must for the first episode. But now let's get down to the specifics on you and
Yeah.
your search. You're coming out of Intel. Maybe a little bit about what your growth journey looked like with Intel.
Yeah, I'm really fortunate. I did have a nice growth journey with Intel. My background is in sales. I came in as a salesperson, covered the Southeast region. And then I moved to drive our HPC business for a year with our US sales team. And then I made that jump from, one of my mentors, you go from me to we. So I was no longer, me, my customers, and my quota. It became we. My sales team was my new customer. And
Hmm.
that role I did for about 3 years. I built out our digital capabilities and our sales strategies for our sales team to go and drive incremental business at scale, and drive our partner relationships at scale through those new capabilities. So, really great growth opportunity for me there. And then I had never done program management before. Again, always been in sales and got an opportunity to drive a global program for our IoT business for a little while, and then most recently was on uh, our global accounts team with Team Microsoft, and I drove our sales enablement and partner relationships with them as well. So kind of across the sales and sales enablement alliance world for the last couple of years. It's been fun.
Great, awesome. And so no stranger to revenue
Nope.
responsibility. You want to say anything about kind of numbers?
Yeah, I mean, so as a salesperson, I always exceeded quota. For sales enablement and the recruitment and the program management roles, did a really great job of recruiting our folks and new ISV and SI partners in for that IoT role,
Mhm.
and then driving business with Microsoft as two very large companies working together, but helped to enable driving roughly $1 billion worth of business with them as well globally over the last kind of 2 years.
Okay, awesome. All right, so that was mostly on the business side. I'm going to ask you a little bit about how would you describe your superpowers? What do you
Yeah,
have?
so I think the people that know me best and the feedback that I consistently get, about my personality type, is inclusivity, very energetic, and, just kind of a positive attitude. One of the things that I've appreciated and is actually really important to me, is that for every role that I had at Intel across those different groups, I did manage our Great Place to Work. So it's a volunteer effort. It's extracurricular, but providing opportunities for our teams to get together in person or through COVID virtually, and do something fun and kind of tear down those walls and get to know each other as people, really makes the team better and hopefully more successful in whatever we're looking to drive from a business sense.
100% agree. So that's a really good lead in to, what do you want to do next? What's important to you?
Yeah, so I do want to feel like I'm working at a company that I'm inspired by, which sounds cliche, but if you're not inspired by what you're doing, you probably shouldn't be doing it. I'm looking for roles that are in sales alliance, partner relationships, those types of work.
Okay, awesome. So I would say culture is important to you, given that
Yep,
you just described all the, the teamwork and people, and we know you love people, so you're going to bring that
I do.
for
I
sure.
do.
Okay, great. So how can those who are interested in getting in touch, how can they do that? Getting in
Yeah, so
touch with
reach out
you?
to me on LinkedIn. That's probably your best bet. I'm always on, I'm always active, and I'm responsive. Whether you've got a role that you're looking to hire for, or somebody that's got a role that they're looking to hire for, or honestly, if you just want to connect, I'm always looking to extend my network. I'm happy to chat with anybody.
Awesome. All right. Well, Zach, thanks for being a willing guinea pig
You're
for this.
welcome. It's been
And
fun.
yeah, we'll see how it goes. And for anyone who's watching, who is who are in the same boat with us, if you want to use this platform, you can get in touch with me on LinkedIn as well. Um, and stay tuned. Thanks, Zach.
Thank you.
All right.